Hello, loves. Hello, hello. It's Hills from the Blue Flame Apothecary. How are we? I am here to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, and express so much love and so much gratitude. In my last update for the Gemini full moon, I mentioned that I was very close to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and that it would be amazing if we could move through that ceiling, as it were, break through that ceiling before the Gemini full moon and or thereabouts, and we did. So amazing. Wow. I it's hard for me to express my gratitude and my love and how much it means to me that you guys have subscribed, and that the message that is coming through this channel is helping anyone that it might be helping, and that you're feeling this love and this light that we are all moving through right now. So I was asking my team and guides, my higher self, the divine, what can we do to celebrate this? And the answer that came through is for me to share with everyone a powerful new technology, ancient new technology, which came through during the Taurus full moon eclipse and was part of the Blue Flame Apothecary members portal full moon transmission. So in the members portal, every full moon I bring through a transmission, and a lot of times what this ends up being is sort of a workshop or a lesson, a new technology that's come online, or a description of an energetic that we are getting to play with at that interval. For the Taurus full moon eclipse, it was a new Lightbody protocol. It came through as the advanced Lightbody protocol. And so I am sharing that with you all now. This is a little preview, a little preview isn't the right word. It's a little introduction. That's the right word. This is a little introduction to the frequencies, and a chance for me to pop in and say thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you, I love you, I love you so much, so much, so much. And I will be on again shortly to talk about some of the energies that are moving through as we approach the Sagittarius new moon on the 12th. There's a lot going on. We're going to have the sun conjunct the great attractor. Later on in December, we'll have the sun conjunct the galactic center. We also have, even as I speak right now, Venus in conjunction with the South Node. And this feels connected to this platinum light body protocol, this advanced light body protocol that I'm about to share with you all. Venus is about our relationship. It's about our relationship to our aspects of being and to our ability to create and manifest in the world. I'm not going to go too deep dive on it because I actually do talk about Venus quite a bit in the transmission I'm about to share with you, and I don't want to make this too long. So without further ado, I invite you to the Advanced Light Body Protocol frequency transmission. One final piece. I mentioned that there's an activation of this, and that is within the members portal. You can come on over there if it calls. There will be links in the bio for all of the things. Again, thank you so much with deep, deep love. profound gratitude. I'm feeling whether or not we're gonna jump right in this moment, or if there's something that wants to be shared to kind of ease us into the where we're going. It's this embodied soulness that is such a hallmark of the earth signs, of Taurus and Virgo in particular. Although Capricorn is also about embodied wholeness, we have just had a bit of a uncomfortable relationship with that energy, with that Saturnian energy, the foundations and structures, because, well, quite frankly, we haven't had a lot of modeling of divine masculine in the era from which we're emerging, However, part of the reason that this has been true is because we have been looking for it outside of self. And this is true whether you're a woman and you're looking for the other half, your male counterpart, to complete you, whether you're a man and you're looking for that father figure to show you the way. Whether you, okay, this is how we're gonna go in. Part of the fluidity in gender that is really starting to rise up in our current era is a reflection of this. We are coming into a remembrance that these two aspects, this feminine and this masculine, are not things separate from us, regardless of the body in which we incarnated, but that they are in fact both running through us, always. It's about how we block them, stop them, overpower them, underpower them, how we resource them. So, unification, coming into a new state of beingness, has been a really strong theme for this entire year of 2023. We have had it as a chariot year. It coincides to the 7th tarot card. And as such, we have been being asked to step more fully into the driver's seat. We've been asked to step more fully, to not look for outside sources of power, but to find the inner resources of power. And this is part of that Taurus Scorpio nodal axis that we were navigating all of last year and for most of this year until about the mid-year. And this lunar eclipse in Taurus is the last one of that cycle. The nodes have already shifted, of course, but we have now moved on from that place. We are in essence, we are touching back in so that we can review what we have learned as we moved through the Scorpio South Node and unearthed things, pulled up the groundwater, as it were. And as we moved through the Taurus North Node and found our ways to what creation and resourcing ourselves means to us, what it means to manifest, to create, what our relationship to luxury is. This is a Venusian eclipse wormhole that we're in, Libra and Taurus, both being ruled by the planet of luxury and desire and passion and love. It is a feminine archetype. The reason it is a feminine archetype is connected to what the feminine thread holds. It's not about being a female. It's the thread of soul embodiment. It's the thread of soul embodiment. It is gold. And we're coming in now. Today's lesson for that is what this transmission is. Today's lesson is about advanced Lightbody protocols. Advanced Lightbody protocols. The meditation that I'll be recording shortly after this transmission is going to help us to activate this advanced Lightbody protocol. Here, we'll talk about it, and we're going to begin with that golden thread. In many modalities, when we work with our energy bodies, we work with something called the central channel, and we work with the lines of force. Two lines of force in particular. One that runs through the left side of the body, the feminine line of force, and one that runs through the right side of the body, the masculine line of force. The channelings that have been coming through for me over this eclipse wormhole in particular, and really the reason I couldn't record this transmission until today is because the massive activation took place for me this morning in my meditation. It had been coming in and I was getting pieces of it, but this morning I got the full display, as it were, in a way in which I was consciously aware of what was happening. So if we think of the feminine, the left side line of force, as a golden thread. It's a golden thread. Why gold? From an alchemical perspective, the process of turning lead into gold, we can start to feel hints of why the feminine thread is gold in this. As our soul moves into embodiment, it is refined and refined and purified and perfected. We go through all of the stages, and the feminine represents the embodied soul. The feminine represents the embodied soul. It is the life force, the creation. And therefore, as we move from the dark, from the shadow, it's connected to exploring and introspection. This is why the moon is connected to the sun, because, the moon is connected to the feminine, and the moon and the sun are also connected. This is why it is eclipse season after all. This is why the moon and the feminine are connected. Because the moon is reflective. The moon is reflective. It is our embodied existence as a reflection of the universe in mattered form. The golden thread, as we come into higher and greater states of soul embodiment, this cord, this thread of golden light strengthens. I'm going to take a sip of water. I can feel my throat chakra going. So, we have this golden thread moving through the left side of our bodies. Many practices would have you bringing this golden thread down and connecting it down through you from the beyond. However, the advanced Lightbody protocols that have come through have us connecting to the golden thread which rises up from the core of the earth, connects into our earth star chakra, rises up into our left foot and all the way up our left leg, up through our hip, through all of the energy centers, along the left side of our bodies, up through, connecting in with our shoulder and our neck, up through the back of our ear, up through and emerging out the top of the head, connecting in with the soul star, and up further still. With this line activated, we move to the silver line of force, the masculine. Why silver? Silver is that aspect of our soul, that aspect of our spirit, which has not gone through the dark nights, which has not gone through, which has not yet accessed embodiment. It is holding from the outside, whereas the feminine is the dance within. This silver line of force travels through the right side of the body. The silver is connected to our pre-embodied spirit, our pre-embodied soul. This line of force does travel from the center of the galaxy. And it travels through our stellar gateway, through our soul star, and it travels down through our crown, which opens to receive it, through and past the right ear, inner ear canal, down through our throats, the right side of our body, down through all of the energy centers and the psoas on the right side of our body, down through our feet, emerging, connecting in with our earth star. As we feel these two lines of force coming into a harmony in our bodies, we can feel how the feminine, the golden line of force, moves from the center of the earth to our earth star, while the silver line of force moves from the center of the galaxy through our stellar gateway to our soul star. At this location of the earth star and the soul star, these two lines of force meet. They begin to intertwine, one spinning upwards and one spinning downwards. Can you feel the Merkaba in that? Our divine chariot in that. The silver helps the gold connect to the center of the galaxy through our stellar gateway, as the gold helps the silver connect through our earth star down to the core of the earth, through all of the divine kingdoms of the earth, the inner kingdom. Here, they find their unification point, much as we can connect to the center of the galaxy and the core of the earth through one another. As these harmonizations continue, opens. It opens within us, that central channel. It opens a beautiful platinum frequency at our center of gravity. And for each of us, this is in a slightly different location. For each of us, this is in a slightly different location, but it is generally somewhere between our navel and our heart. Somewhere between our navel and our heart. For me, I can share that it's very much that solar plexus, that entire band that we call the solar plexus. And it opens in an almost vaginal shaped, not quite a teardrop. And it opens and it opens and it opens, this platinum window, this portal of sorts. We can feel this platinum frequency of light as the unification. If you think of platinum, the metal, like my ring, we can see that it is the color of silver, but it is of the frequency of gold. It is a unification of the pre-embodied spirit and the embodied soul. And as these lines of force come into harmonization, as we reunion these two aspects of our being, this platinum, our light body, expands. It begins to open from the core of our being, just as the gold line of force emerged from the core of the earth, and the silver line of force emerged from the center of the galaxy. The platinum channel, central channel, our unified line of force, as it were, emerges from the core of our being. And that's what I mean when I say our gravitational center. And that this can be in a slightly different location, but is generally in the center of our physical bodies. For some people, it will be the heart. For some people, it will be the throat. And for some people, it will be their root, or even the sacral womb center of their beings. But for most of us, that channel begins to open. It emerges from the solar plexus area, somewhere in between the heart and the navel. As it opens, it starts to vibrate all of the cells of our being, all of the subatomic particles and all of the fluids of our being start to come into vibrational harmony, resonance with this platinum. When we talk about having a light body activation, much of what we're feeling, the reason our body seems to be humming and our whole system, and we want to like shake. Sometimes it's uncontrollable laughter or coughing, things like this, is because all of the cells, all of the molecular structure, and all of the fluids of our being are coming into a new, higher frequency, cadence, resonance, frequency. We're equalizing to the unification energies. We're equalizing to the unification energies. And each time we have an activation, this grows stronger. This grows stronger. The gold line of force does not go away. The silver line of force does not go away. However, the platinum begins to flow through them, and they get stronger. They come into a harmonization also through this. And the upward entwinement and the downward entwinement, I'm going to put those words in quotes because upwards and downwards don't really exist, but from our human perspective, that's what it looks like because we are vertical beings. This platinum energy, this platinum light, is the unification of the embodied divine spirit. That is what platinum resonates to. It is connected to the where we are going. One of the reasons that this is coming online for us now, and other people may describe it in other ways, but most of us who are starting to come into the next evolution of humanity, of the beingness, of the embodied form, will start to feel the rising up of these energies and the coming down and the place where they are connected. And as this platinum band continues to expand, this central channel widens and widens. It encompasses all of our energy centers. It connects all the way down through our Earth star and into the core of the Earth, and all the way up through our soul star, through the stellar gateway and the center of the galaxy. It starts to spin through that connection between those 2 points, the core of the Earth and the center of the galaxy, creating a larger torus field around us. And the central channel, this platinum energy, our light body, begins to connect both from without, seemingly without, through our etheric and astral bodies, as it also is expanding from within us, through our cells and our organs and our glands and our subatomic particles, activating all of the beautiful little beings that help us and all of the fluids of our physical bodies, coming into all of our energy centers in our mental body and our emotional body, allowing this beautiful platinum light to move through, and they come into the word that's coming is waveform, like that torus field that we're familiar with, that electromagnetic energy that emerges from and goes into our heart spaces and our minds. This platinum channel moves out from our central core and also is built around us. Can you feel that? Let me open a little wider here. My own channel. Let's see if there's any words that will serve to help us internalize this a little bit more. the way that it's coming through is the amazing, beautiful, profound, and not undifficult work that we have done, not just in these last couple of years, but through our many incarnations, has brought us to this point where we are getting ready to jump from separateness to remembered wholeness. From separateness to remembered wholeness. In many ways, the last era, the last epoch of our embodied existence has been run through a perception filter of separateness. Part of this was a necessary, which is hard for me to say because it triggers one of my core wounds, a necessary step in the process when we think about forgetting in order to remember and to learn lessons through that. This is what we can feel into. We came into a level of density that for many souls embodied meant a forgetting, an almost complete forgetting of the wholeness, of the oneness, of the interconnectedness of all, in order to create for each of us an individualization of spirit, so that our souls could find through separateness, through perceived separateness, a self-sufficiency is the word that I'm coming with, but I don't know if I like it, but I'm not in love with it. Let's say that. But it does fit. It helps us to connect to an ability to stand sovereign, to come through. If we think of a dark night of the soul as an aspect of a embodied lifetime, we can think of this last epoch with the perceived separateness as the embodied soul's dark night. That place where as a species, as a group of souls, of spirits, we traveled through many incarnations of forgetting, coming back into the light of remembrance. We moved through these caverns and we experienced so much and we learned so much. A lot of it was what not to do on this journey. Through that, we got to remember more and more. In each incarnation, more and more of us remembered that we were part of something bigger, that we are part of the all of everything, and that we are actually here to help facilitate the evolution, not just of our own souls, but of the godlight. And because so many of us, we are now at that time, we have reached that point where many of us have come into a state of remembrance that is so strong that we are reactivating new facilities, new frequencies of light, new aspects of the all of everything. When we talk about being co-creators, this is part of that. It's not we're remembering old frequencies of light that we forgot. We've been doing that. We are actually activating new frequencies that have never before been. And this is how we are co-creating. One of the ways.